Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
And Richard Southern joins us now. There are plenty of interesting stories to catch up about today. Richard, we begin with one of your favorite topics, UFOs.
You're not going around the newsroom saying, Richard, he's completely lost it, he's off his rocker, are you?
No, I'm not. Not at all.
You were doing that before I started talking about UFOs all the time.
Every 640 chat, I always think maybe Richard is, I don't know what's happening today.
Something not right with that guy. No, but listen, I'm not. We've talked about this a number of times over the past year, and I'm not showing videos that some guy shot in his backyard. What had happened was last year, the U.S. military said, here's video that our military, our pilots have shot of objects they can't explain that defy the laws of gravity. Well, Erica, there's another such video out that the Pentagon has confirmed that military in the state shot, and this is it. It was taken aboard a U.S. warship in July of 2019. It's a night vision shot that appears to show several unidentified triangles that are flashing in the clouds. This is off the coast of San Diego. And one of the triangles appears to join other triangles before the video abruptly ends. Again, the Pentagon has said this is a video shot by our personnel. We don't know what it is. Other pictures have leaked as well that show a spherical object entering the water without making a splash. And there's some pictures as well shot from an FA-18 pilot off the coast of Virginia. What's going to happen in the next couple of weeks? The U.S. military has said they're going to release a report on all this, detailing exactly what they know.
In night vision video from a Navy destroyer, a mysterious flying triangle above the deck of the ship. The Pentagon confirming the images obtained by documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell were taken by Navy personnel and expected to be a part of a report on unidentified aerial phenomenon to be presented to Congress this summer. Already online, some skeptics say the images are caused by cameras trying to focus, but some of the objects go beyond just flying in the sky. One shows a spherical object dipping into the ocean, similar to an incident in Puerto Rico where an object was tracked buzzing an airport, then flying into the water, popping back out before appearing to split into two and disappearing. Over the last several weeks, some of the nation's top former intelligence officials have been raising eyebrows.
Look at this thing. It's rotating.
Former CIA Director R. James Woolsey said he knew of a case where a plane was paused in midair.
A friend of mine was able to have his aircraft stop at 40,000 feet or so and not continue operating as a normal aircraft. What was going on?
In December, ex-CIA Director John Brennan said it was arrogant to believe there are no other forms of life other than the ones on Earth. And former intelligence chief John Ratcliffe says officials have been tracking technology beyond our capabilities.
We're talking about objects picked up by satellite imagery that are difficult to explain.
Like another incident off the coast of California in 2004 when a fighter squadron encountered an object that seemed to defy gravity.
What do you think it is?
I honestly don't know. I don't think that we have developed that technology. I don't think we developed it on this planet.
Video from that encounter and 2 other incidents were officially released by the Pentagon last year. Now new signs that the Pentagon could declassify more sightings of what they can't explain.
And guys, now here's the thing about those last 3 F-18 videos. I recently asked the former director of the Advanced Aerial Threat Identification Program at the Pentagon, point blank, are those the only videos that the government has? He said no, those were probably the least compelling videos. And in some videos, you see an object about 50 feet away from the cockpit. Ooh. Guys.
Okay, that's crazy. You know, I don't want to say I don't believe because I don't want them to come prove me wrong.
Exactly.
So, right.
I'm with you. And by the way, think about every person who thinks they've seen something up in the sky. These are just the military confirmed ones.
I don't like it. I'd like to go back just like thinking that this isn't real.
Okay, moving on.
I'd like to be happy in my ignorance.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say good evening and welcome to all those. Welcome to Lightning and Thunder Part 2. We're talking aliens, UFO, and all kind of bacchanal like that. Last week, Part 1, it was very interesting last week, and we had a lot of people, a lot of our persons inside giving their 2 cents on what's happening and what's going on. But this week, I think we're going to talk directly to someone who had a sightings. Because I believe Soca Man told us that this week he's going to be chatting with us live about what he saw and experienced. This is part 2 of UFOs. Are we alone? That's the question. We have come up with so many different philosophies and theories last week. And we lean towards realizing that we are not alone, but we are alone, if you understand. My philosophy was, and my theory was that we are being visited by ourselves from the future. That's my 2 cents on it, right? Technically, if it's ourselves visiting ourselves in the past, we are alone, because it's we who visiting we, all right? But if it's not us watching over us and visiting us, then we are not alone. Time will tell. Certain agencies said that they're going to give out information this coming June. Well, as we normally do, we acknowledge those who are inside with us early, sitting down waiting to join the conversation. Remember, you can join the conversation, add your 2 cents if you think that you saw something, or you, while growing up, or you have experience or somebody told you about a sighting or a UFO or something that you cannot explain. You can give me a call. 755-8055. My international caller is 1-868. That's 1-868-755-8055. All right. As you can see, we're still in space. We're orbiting. Things happening and things going on. Last week, I was actually inside the command center, the cockpit of the ship. But today, I rock back in the room. You know, everybody, we orbiting in a nice way. So I just in my boudoir, in my bundle. And as you could see, the planet Earth is orbiting behind me right now. I'm sipping on my space juice. Don't ask me what is inside of my space juice. Space juice. Yes. All right, so let's start off first by acknowledging some of you all who are inside early. Colleen, good evening to you, Colleen. Leanne King, good evening to you, Leanne King. It's a pleasure having you inside, Leanne King. Narsuk, Narsuk. Well, boy, Narsuk, we're talking sightings. Alien sightings, UFO sightings, unidentified things. You ever see anything boy in your endeavors, boy? A man like you see plenty things, you know, Narsuk. So Narsuk, I would like to hear if you witness anything or saw anything, or you believe you see an alien or UFO or some kind of something that you cannot comprehend or have no answer, but you witness it. Katian, good evening to you, Kati. Mel, good evening to you, Mel. Kimberly Simon, good evening to you. Anne-Marie, good evening to you, Anne-Marie. Crystal Ann Charles, good evening to you, Crystal Ann, sweetheart. Very interested last week, a very, very interesting topic. And 2 cents you put in last week, Crystal Ann, with your views. You said you was an alien. Do you still feel that this week? You still feel you're an alien? Oh boy. Gerard Dice, Dicey, what's happening, Dice? Original band, Dicey, what's happening, Gerard Dice? Samantha, good evening to you, Samantha. Miss Mohammed, good evening to you, Miss Mohammed. Maria Asuna, good evening to you, Maria. How are you going this evening, Maria? All right. Candace, during the week, I got a call from Candace. Candace said that, Ross, don't say my entire name. You can just call me Candace. I want to share my experience. She is telling me, and this is what she told me this week here, all right? I spoke to her, it was Sunday evening, I want to believe, and she mentioned that her experience, but she's kind of shy to come out to say what she experienced while she was younger. She said while she was a child growing up, she was playing in the backyard with her brother, her siblings, all right? And she felt something lift her up, and she was levitating. And then she blacked out. She said time passed, and when she woke up, it was in the afternoon. The place was dark, so I guess it was evening. All right, but she said she felt that since morning she was outside playing with her sibling, and she felt that she cannot account for the past 6 or 8 hours. Now this is during the day. And when she woke up, she was in a patch. I don't know, she said she thought and she summed it up to being blackout. But as she got older and older, she had dreams. And the dreams were like visions about what took place while she was younger. So she believed that she was abducted and experimented on. Candace said, Ross, share my story, because there may be others out there that experience this. So Candace, thank you very much for sharing that with me. How many of you all ever felt what Candace felt? Or maybe you know someone who told you something and you just summed up like if they're going crazy, right? Do you believe that we are alone in this solar system? Do you believe that we are the only life form that exists? If so, tell me. Giselle is saying, Ross, good evening to you. I believe aliens are real. It's just a matter of time before they come out and say that they are not, or they are. But I believe aliens are real. What's your view? Sokaman, good evening to you, Sokaman. Sokaman, you promised last week that you're going to dial in today. You can WhatsApp me. You can call me on WhatsApp as well, 1-868-755-8055. You can also WhatsApp me at the side, or you can also WhatsApp to share your story. You told us that you would share your story. You could call directly if you want. All right, 755-8055. Our code is 1-868. You know the code, you call in nearly every day. All right, my WhatsApp number is 755-8055. All right, 1-868-755-8055. That is Sokaman. I want to hear his story, because last week he told us firsthand via here that he has a story to share, and he gave us a little piece. We want to hear from you this evening, Sokaman. Live. Maria, good evening to you, Maria. Cheryl Oliver, good night, Ross. Yes, good night to you, Cheryl. Samantha. Rhonda, good evening to you, Rhonda. How are you today, Rhonda? Hi, Ross. Love the idea, and I totally love your background. How's the weather like in space? I can tell you, it's lonely up here. Social distancing. While we're on this, I want to urge our brothers and sisters, please, COVID-19 is very, very, very real. Very, very real. There are a lot of our brothers and sisters who are losing the battle to COVID-19. And there are a lot of our brothers and sisters who walk around the place with COVID-19 and infecting others. Some are asymptomatic. They probably get the first few days, the first 4 or 5 days, and they're feeling good and they're not quarantining and they're out there. You may be okay. You're telling yourself you're okay, but what about others who may not be able to fight the battle? All right, and they acquire it and they lost the battle. So please, we're urging everyone, social distance, sanitize, wear your mask, do all the necessary COVID-19 protocols, all right, and be safe. Log on to the World Health Organization page to get more information, all right? All right. I'm urging my brothers and sisters, please, COVID-19 is real, all right? All right. So, do you believe that we are alone in this galaxy, in this planet? Do you believe it out of all the planets it have? Do you believe that so many different solar systems and planets the Creator has created, that He has only created mankind, not life, but mankind on this planet? Because we have abundance of life forms on this planet, all right? Without man, the planet will still live, I will say that again. Without man, our planet Earth will still live. Remember that. All right. We coexist amongst the other life forms. All right. And we are just a mere vessel, because our body is more bacteria than anything else. We are just organelles. All right. Don't get that deep. but so many different planets, and we are exploring the moon, we're exploring Mars, we're exploring different planets, we're looking for life form, we're out there, we're sending our technology out there in capsules and radio frequencies. Do you think that what we're doing is a right thing? Do you think that we're giving out so much DNA information about our structure and our planet out there free to another planet that may have life that we don't know if they are hostile or not? Do you think it's right what we're doing or wrong? What's your view on that? Lauren, good evening to you, Lauren. Good evening, Stacey-Ann. Yes, Dr. Ross, I believe there are life forms greater than us that is watching us. We are like plants. I like how you put that. We are like plants. Could it really be that we were seeded? Could it be? Because if you listen to our scripture say we came out of the dirt, from dust. We were created, from dust. When you're planting a tree or a plant, where you put the seed? In the earth, in the dust to grow. Think about it. Could it be that we were seeded and we were planted here, and our gardeners are looking up above us, right here in the back, right across here, this section right here, maybe this light is right here, and they're just watching us. They're cloaked in invisibility, or maybe with our eyes we cannot see, because our eyes were not created with that intelligence in cells to watch the light pattern to see them. We were created that way. We don't know. These are questions we don't know. So that point you brought up, that we could be seeded, is a very important point in truth. We could really be seeded. We could really be seeded. Soca Man. Lines are open, Soca Man, all right? Maria, good evening to you. Ross, good evening. How is everything? Hi, Ross. I believe in life forms. It's just that we are not to that level of technology to see that life form. As you said. Correct. I said that. How true is that? What's your belief? Tonight is part 2 of Are We Alone? And inside part 2, we just give a snippet of what we're talking about next week, alright? Next week, please, Elon, we're talking about spiritual warfare. Oh boy. Spiritual warfare is what we're talking about next week. Going down deep into part 1 and part 2 of spiritual warfare next week. Ah boy. That's next week. But this evening, are we alone? Suzanne is saying, Ross, I do not believe we are alone. Sometimes I wonder if my husband is an alien. What give you the idea, Suzanne, your husband is an alien? Share with me. But remember, I'm streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, Instagram, and all those platforms. You can link me up on YouTube, DJ Dr. Ross on Instagram, DJ Dr. Ross on Facebook. Tell a friend, Rosano. All right? All right, let's see what we have. Hello, Blessed. Good evening. Welcome to Light
Good afternoon to one and all. Hey, Dr. Ross.
Hey, welcome to Lighten and Thunder. Welcome. Yes, my going good, my brother. It's good to have you here in person, my brother. So come on in. I mean, you are in where are you in Brooklyn?
No, I'm in West Palm, Florida.
Florida. You're in Florida. First of all, I must say blessings to you and your lovely wife. Of course, blessings.
Thank you very much.
And I trust that everything is going good, and you're a happy man. I find you smiling even more since you're married.
My life is good. No complaints.
Wonderful. My brother, it's good to have you on board. And tell us exactly what you witnessed, because you saw some very, very, very interesting things that nobody didn't tell you. You witnessed this. Tell us exactly what you witnessed.
Well, to begin with, I never really paid any mind to alien life form outside there.
Right.
I was sort of oblivious to the fact.
Right.
But I want to go back, like probably about 45 years ago.
45 years ago.
I grew up in Point Fortin, T-Shade to be exact.
T-Shade in Point Fortin.
And Yes. One night, I think it was somewhere back in 1979, somewhere around there. We were linemen on the block. It was a summertime. And somebody looked up and was like, what is that?
Wow.
And we all looked up. There was probably about 10 of us. And what we saw up there was like, it looked like a flattened black-eyed pea.
Wow.
You know, the black-eyed pea is brown on the outside, and black on the inside.
Yeah.
So it was as though something flattened it. And this thing was moving at a high rate of speed. It was pretty low too.
Wow. And this is in
1979.
1979. Trinidad we talking about here, you know.
Trinidad we talking about.
We're talking about .14, you know, T-shirt, you know.
.14 T-shirt to be exact.
Yeah.
Right. It didn't dawn on me until I went to see the movie Independence Day.
Oh boy.
And when you looked at those alien crafts in Independence Day, that just brought back that memory to me, and I was like, wow. It was like living deja vu.
Now, you and your colleagues, your partners, and every lineman in T-shirt, and this is around what time of the night?
This was probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Wow. As early as 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening?
Yeah.
Wow. .14 of flattened black-eyed peas, so to speak, you know. And this is in Trinidad in 1979.
This is in Trinidad in 1979.
Your other partners saw it too as well, or it was just you?
Everybody saw it. All 10 of us.
Wow.
I don't remember who was the first one to look up to see it.
Yeah.
But when he saw it, he was like, what is this? And everybody looked up.
Wow.
So.
My goodness. Now, at this time, because some people might say, what only was drinking or smoking? Everybody was normal at that time.
When I was a teenager going to Faizabad Senior Comprehensive.
Senior Comprehensive.
There was no alcohol involved.
No, back in them days, 1979, and parents were very, very, very strict. And back in 1979, the technology was way prehistoric to how it is now. Trinidad,
absolutely.
We were not up to technology to say that we would have such aircrafts flying over Trinidad, like how possibility could have now. But 1979. Now, you know, the technology I don't think was there. So that means it's an actual craft that you saw.
Well, aircraft has lights. This one had no lights navigating the skies. None whatsoever.
My goodness. No lights. And it was hovering in the sky. And it was moving at a pace back and forth, up and down, left and right. It was actually surveillance in
it was actually heading like northwest.
Northwest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Northwest.
And I mean, at this point in time, that was a sighting, and you all told your parents. You told your parents what you witnessed.
I told my grandmother.
What granny say?
I basically grew up with my grandmother.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, grandmothers always have something to say. Grannies.
She brushed it off as though we saw, you know.
Something. Because you know, back in 1979, as we're talking about this, it had a lot of supernatural things as well. There are a lot of things.
Yes.
What I could say, they were like sukunyas and lacha bless, and you know, we're talking all that next week. You know, next week we're talking.
Well, all right, I'm gonna leave that for next week.
Yeah, that's it for next week. But but we're talking tonight. So after you witnessed that in 1979, was that your only sighting?
No, let's move forward to August 13th to be exact, 2013.
Wait, 1979 to August 13.
2013, yes.
2013.
I'm at work.
And this is
I'm just sitting there clearing my mind. It's probably about 7:50, 8 o'clock in the evening.
What was it? You realize it's close to the time?
Yes.
And where is this? This is in Trinidad?
So I'm sitting there.
Is this in Trinidad?
No, this is in West Palm.
West Palm, Florida. Okay.
So I'm sitting there looking east, you know, just letting my thoughts flow. And out of the blue, 5 bright lights just appeared out of nowhere.
Wow.
And I sat there in awe because, I mean, Dr. Ross,
yeah,
the way how these lights were moving, ain't no aircraft could do what they were doing.
Wow.
It's like they were dancing in the air.
Wow. Wow.
I sat there and I was like, what is this? So it did that for probably about 3 to 4 minutes.
Wow, that long? That long?
Yeah, that long. And they just shot back east as though they were heading to the Bahamas and disappeared.
Wow.
So I drove away now and about 3 people saw me.
Yeah.
And flagged me down.
Yeah.
Did you see those lights? Did you see it? So I'm saying to myself, okay, you saw that too?
Right,
and they said yes. So I said to myself, look, I ain't going crazy.
Nah, you ain't going crazy. Well, I can imagine the first time you see them 5 lights, it all brought you back straight to from Trinidad, like the following you, boy.
I said to myself, what is this? So what I did, I went back and I told my sergeant about it.
Right.
And they looked at me as though I was going crazy. So I went online to see if the Navy or the Coast Guard, had any exercises going on outside there to see they had something. Nothing at all. But then again, a Navy aircraft or a Coast Guard aircraft or aircrafts were not able to do those maneuvers outside there the way those lights were doing it.
Not even an F-35 Raptor.
Nothing.
Not even an F-35 Raptor could do that.
Nothing at all.
Maybe the closest thing could be a Blackbird C-90 or one of those spy planes. But it won't be able to hover.
I doubt.
Yeah. Because they were hovering.
Because it looked as though you had 5 hands outside there with flashlights just dancing in the air.
Wow. Wow. Now, for all of those people who are listening to you right now, you're in Florida, you are also a law enforcement officer.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So you're not just going to say that you're going to see something and make up a story. This is what you saw.
Russ, I take that to my grave.
Ah, boy. Ah, boy. But
this is what I saw. I ain't going crazy.
Do you think, boy, do you think you were chosen, boy? Because it all started in Trinidad while you were a child growing up, right? It could well be that they are monitoring your movements, these alien life forms. We cannot rule that out, Because
you know what? I never really gave it any thought.
No, I can't rule it out too because, I mean, they chose certain people because not everybody would have seen that, right? You had encounters before. Now, you may not know if you were ever abducted. You may not have no recollection of it, right? But
maybe.
But you don't know. It could happen maybe or maybe not, all right? We don't know, right? But what you know for a fact, that was your second encounter.
That was my second encounter, yes.
And this is not hearsay or somebody telling you, this is what you saw
Absolutely
with your
not.
eyes. And when you went back to the station, to your camp, and you're telling your sergeant what you saw, they're looking at you like, you see, that's rest, too much a shift, too much night shift. Until the phone calls start coming in and when people witnessing this.
Well, the thing about it too, I was also going through a breakup at the same time, so they're probably looking at me as though I'm just outside there seeing things.
Yeah, but not you alone, because people saw it too, so they wasn't going through the same breakup as you. No. So it's obviously that will tell yourself that you're not going mad, because other people flag you down to tell you if you witnessed what they witnessed. And I believe very much, Soca Man, that you saw what you saw twice, once in Trinidad and once in Florida. I believe you are gifted because not everybody could see it. I believe you're not mad. This is my view. And I believe firmly that this is telling us that we are not alone. Something is there. It may not be an alien life form. I'm saying it could be ourselves visiting ourselves from the future. All right? Because technology could change and improve. So we don't have time traveling that was developed in the future and then visiting ourselves in the past. All these things we could look at, Soca Man, You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can look at that too. But here's also what happens.
Uh-huh.
Right? Cape Canaveral is probably about 2-3 hours north of us.
Right. Cape
So a
where?
lot of time when they Cape Canaveral, when they have the NASA.
Yes, yes.
So when they have these launches and stuff like that, sometimes you get these air bursts, and you know you have particles running through the air and stuff like that. And people be calling in to say, "Well, look, they see this, they see that, they see the other." But NASA would come out and confirm, "Well, look, they had these, you know, these activities going on." But in my case here, in 2013, NASA had nothing going on.
Well, incidentally, because I'm following the world news, I am now hearing that there was another sighting last year and this year as well. And I understand that the Pentagon is going to be declassifying. Were you aware of that since you're in Florida?
Oh yeah, the Pentagon sometime last month released some information there. I think it's an infrared video of an flying object that was close to one of their warships.
Yeah, and many of the warships it was recorded, and they're acknowledging that that we are not alone. I think they came out and said a couple of Fridays back that we are not alone and they're going to declassify sometime in June. I'm waiting to hear.
But Russ, if people could, you know, as a little boy growing up, you looking at movies with flying saucers. You know, you have Star Trek.
Yeah.
You have Space 1999. You have, you know, all these alien movies. You know, my favorite, Martian, and all these.
You have X-Files.
I believe, right? I got this from my grandfather back in 1976 when the $6 Million Man first hit the airwaves.
Yeah, boy, Bionic Man, boy, Steve Austin, boy.
Steve Austin.
Yeah, boy.
Right? My grandfather said if they could make a TV show about that, they already have that technology outside it. So if they could make Star Trek and all that kind of stuff.
You're quite right, you know. Your grandfather was right, you know.
It's because they have some sort of evidence to support what they're making.
Right. Because today we are seeing robots and AI stronger than 6 million than Steve Austin, you know. It's existing today.
Who would have thought of a flying car in the 60s?
Nobody. James Bond. Remember James Bond? James Bond had something like that. But a movie again, and we've seen it realistically right now. We are seeing that. And this movie now, as you mentioned, Independence Day, what about Men in Black?
Yeah.
As you would know, because you are in the United States of America, we understand that a Space Force was launched.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago, former President Trump, he decided to create a Space Force.
Why you think that just create just out of the blue to have a Space Force? I don't think so.
Well, they also have the ISS outside there, so that you know that might be in collaboration with that too. Because I mean, the ISS has been out there for a while now. And they keep extending it.
That's right. And I mean, from back in the days, I believe it was Ronald Reagan. I want to believe,
he started with the Star Wars.
The Star Wars program.
Yeah, he started with the Star Wars program.
And with these things, we have learned over time, especially from movies, that these directors and these Spielbergs and these intelligent guys who make these movies, they're getting inspired by something.
I feel there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about. There's a lot of stuff going on that we don't know about.
Based on what you see, Sokaman, do you believe that we are alone?
No.
Yeah. I share that, my brother. I share that.
There has to be some explanation for that. You or I don't have it.
No, we don't have that. We don't have that.
I can only go on what I saw.
We don't have that.
And you're going on your beliefs.
And that's it. Right? I have not witnessed that. However, I witnessed other things, but it was not of an alien aspect of it. Right? But technology nowadays is so developed that we can easily be fooled by camera tricks. Because look at me, I in a spacecraft right now with the Earth orbiting behind me. You know what I mean? But we all know that technology can make that happen. All right? But with this now, I believe you're going to be encountered again in Sokaman. I believe they're going to come to you again, you know. This is what I believe, you know. They're coming to you again, you know.
Let's hope they don't take me away from here.
Oh boy, so come on, I want to thank you so much for sharing your stories about the boat incidents, one in Trinidad and one in Florida. The boat incidents, you are not crazy, and we understand and we believe you. And it's just time will tell what's happening, and I want to thank you very much for sharing your story. Anything you would like to say to all those inside Lightning and Thunder, especially Miss Paul and all the others inside?
I just want to say blessed good afternoon to everyone, and I hope all the mothers had a wonderful Mother's Day. But folks, on a serious note, on a very, very serious note, right? My stepdaughter, my aunt, I have 2 nieces who are nurses.
Yeah.
My stepdaughter is a charge nurse at a trauma center.
Yeah.
And listen, the horror stories that these ladies come home with this COVID-19, this thing is real.
Yeah.
You know, this thing is real. Dr. Russ, I've always been compulsive.
Yeah.
I've gotten worse. Still, my hands are cracking.
Yeah.
You know, I have in my car, in my work vehicle, all around the house, I have hand sanitizers.
Everywhere.
I don't go anywhere without my mask.
Yeah.
This thing is serious, and people need to take this thing serious. Listen, man, I miss 2 borrowed days. One being a class reunion.
Yeah, boy.
You understand? I miss my mom's 80th birthday. I miss Mother's Day this year with her again.
Yeah.
So, guys, let's hunker down a little bit. You know, we could get through this if we do the right things.
Definitely.
Wear your mask, sanitize, do your social distancing.
And most
please.
And most of all, we recently heard that it's airborne as well. I think the CDC said that to that extent. That there's a level of airborne in it.
Look, I'm fully vaccinated, but I'm still not taking a chance.
Wow.
My wife is fully vaccinated.
And still,
you know, I'm trying to get my ex-wife to make sure that my daughter get vaccinated because she turns 16 in a couple months, and they just approve it for, 12 to 15.
Okay, in the United States.
But yeah.
And this is the Moderna. Which
Pfizer. They might start shooting it into arms as early as tomorrow.
Pfizer. All right.
Yeah.
All right. And you felt good.
Our death rate is on the decline. Our hospital rate is on the decline, but Trinidad seems to be on the rise.
Yeah. Today we had
we
over 600 new cases today. Over 600 new cases today.
I think I spoke to my brother earlier on. I think he said we had about 11 deaths today too.
Yeah. We crossed those numbers on. This month of May was over 55 deaths. Condolences to the family, but I tell you, it's
my prayers and thoughts go out to the family. But we as a people, I've been reading The Guardian and stuff like that, and everyone seems to be placing the blame at the feet of the government. Listen, man, we got to do our part too.
Yeah.
We got to be responsible. We are adults.
Yeah.
We got to do the right thing.
We got to do the right thing. And the right thing to safeguard our family, our friends, our loved ones, and most of all to safeguard the world.
Oh, absolutely.
The human race,
absolutely.
Mankind. Because we can end up like the dinosaurs if you don't get this under control. The dinosaurs had a meteor as their termination weapon. This COVID-19 have the capacity and the capability of wiping out the human race. I'm
not. No, I won't say that right now because we have all the vaccinations going on outside there.
All right.
But
no, we don't.
If I would say last year around this time, I would have been on the same page with you because we didn't have all the technology, we didn't have all the knowledge of what this virus was capable of.
All right.
But now that we have the vaccines going on outside there, and they're doing more and more testing.
Yeah.
With the various variants outside there.
That's the next thing.
I think we're in a better place than we were a year ago.
Yeah, I think that there's hope in the horizon. But I think the battle is far from being
Yeah, the battle is far from over, because I mean, we're doing good in the United States because the United States has the power, they have the money to do it.
Right.
Right. So we might be able, even though there's some pushback,
yeah,
on the in the political sphere.
Yeah.
Right. I believe that we could achieve herd immunity.
Okay. Herd immunity.
However,
yeah,
our Caribbean neighbors, right? Our Caribbean neighbors, we gotta get the vaccinations one, and we got to get it into the arms of the people down there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you this on air, but I'm good friends with somebody, and I'm hoping that I could get in contact with him. I haven't been able to get in contact with him since election.
All right.
But he has some clout whereby we could get some vaccines into Trinidad and Tobago, and if I could only get a hold of this gentleman, because he has the clout in Washington.
All right. All right.
He has the clout in Washington. And if I could get a hold of him
in Trinidad,
you know.
Well, all right.
Say again?
He's in Trinidad.
No, he's here.
He's here. Okay. All right. Well,
he's here.
But
he's very, very difficult to get a hold of.
All right.
Very, very difficult.
Well, as soon as you make that connection, you could give me a call, side note, and we will see how we could make that network work and get the necessary arms moving down here, and see how we could have the necessary agencies get involved, and we can see what we can do, to help each other out, So, come on, I want to tell you thank you very much for telling us your experience and what you experienced, and thank you very much also for sharing your stories or your personal info about your vaccination and things like that. And be safe and continue being safe, and get some hand moisturizer, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Get some hand moisturizer.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much,
and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Soca Man.
You're welcome.
All right. That has been Soca Man on the line. He's talking. He spoke to us there from Florida, and he was giving us his story first on the alien life forms, his sightings. He had 2 sightings, one in Trinidad in 1979, as you would have heard, and then the other in 2013, August the 13th, as a matter of fact. Right? Remember, if you have a 2 cents, you can drop in your 2 cents, 755-8055. That number again, 755-8055. Charlene, good evening to you, Charlene. Siobhan, good evening to you, Siobhan. Shamika, good evening, Shamika. Nigel Cotier, good evening to you, Nigel Cotier, Councillor Cotier. Well, Councillor Cotier, we had Councillor Cotier last week, and he gave us his experience with sighting as well. I understand he has a big cooking show as well coming up, Cooking with Nigel. That's actually launching this coming Saturday, 6 p.m. Stay tuned to that, to Nigel, Councillor Nigel Cotier, on his Facebook page. He's going to be cooking. I was invited to his show to be a guest to cook with him. So eventually I'm going to be on his cooking show, Nigel Cotier. I don't know what I might be cooking, but I will be cooking along with some stars. So thank you very much, Nigel, and good evening to you. Sharon Rodriguez, good evening to Sharon. Triple S, what's going on, Triple? Charlene, good evening, Charlene. Allison, good evening to you. Cindy Ram, good evening. Alan Backbencher Central, good evening to you, my brother. Margaret Hajari. Miss Paul, welcome inside, Miss Paul. Welcome, sweetheart. Welcome inside. Margaret Hajari, good say. Samantha, well said. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Ross. Very late, but I'm here. Very good. Crystallan, the human race will never be white, because with every virus or wars and major floods since before biblical times, there are still people on earth and in the world. Some will survive. Good point, Crystallan. Some would survive indeed. Very, very good point. Because if you look at the days with the Noah and the flood and Moses and the biblical time, as she said, correct? Seeing here, Ross, Dr. Ross, I believe I was abducted. People blame it because I drink a little too much, but I am telling you that I did not drink that evening, but nevertheless, I felt that I was abducted. All right. Okay. 7558055, that's my number. Crystalline is saying that we will not be wiped out because time has shown that the human race will survive. Good point, Crystalline. Very good point. But, and I'm putting the but there, Crystalline. If it is intended for us to be wiped out, we would be wiped out. The dinosaurs never thought that they would have been extinct today. We are not in charge of tomorrow. We may guide tomorrow, but we are not in charge of tomorrow. If, so to speak, that our creator, whatever the case may be, that if you believe you were seeded, but only the creator would know what tomorrow holds for us. We would like to believe that we would be a race without end. But so did the dinosaurs for millions of years. All right? To make way for new species. When the dinosaurs were wiped out, Crystalline, it made way for new species. Think about it, all right? Good evening to you, Ross. Good evening to you. Hi, Ross, Dr. Ross. Quite correct. If you looked at how things are today, only the ants will inherit the earth. You have a good point there, Nigel. You have a good point. This is Nigel Nottingham, not Nigel Gauthier. Nigel, he's saying that ants will survive. Ants was there from, it has proven that ants are there from the Jurassic times. Yeah. So ants has been here. Must be the oldest living life form on the planet, ants. So really, who earth it belongs to? Is it ours or is it the ants? Think about it. Are we alone? The question is leaning more and more to the answer that we are not alone. And time will tell that we are or are not alone on the inside. All right? Let's got a few minutes inside. What we have again, Neil Romain. Good evening to you, Neil. What's up, my brother Neil? For we walk by faith, not by sight, Neil is saying. Juliet Pantin, Kieran Roberts. Oh boy, Juliet. Good evening to you, Juliet. Juliet, every Wednesday we have a program called Lighted and Thunder where we discuss issues on different topics, all right? Today is part 2 of Are We Alone? All right, every week we have a 2-part series, part 1 and part 2 every Wednesday. We start, and next week, Wednesday, we will talk about spiritual warfare. That is what we're talking about next week, part 1 and part 2, spiritual warfare. Do you think we walk amongst demons, archangels? Oh boy, next week we're going to get deep into that. Not religion, huh? Spiritual warfare. That could be a broad topic. But next week we're talking about that. Alright? Do you think that it exists? Spiritual forces. Folk fear. Folklore. Oh boy. What really is a sukunya? All these things. We're talking about that next week. Giselle, it's a pleasure having you, Giselle. Sorry you came on so late, Giselle. Sorry, Miss Paula, you also came on a little late on the inside. But I want to thank all those who give their 2 cents on the inside. And of course, thank you very much once again to Soca Man for giving us his experience, what he experienced in Trinidad and in Florida, his own personal experience about that. And this is where we close the curtains down on the part 2 of Are We Alone? Join me next week, Wednesday, 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. and where we're going to be having part 1 of spiritual warfare next week, Wednesday. So until then, everyone, please be safe. May the Creator continue blessing you, giving you the guidance. Most of all, sanitize, social distance, wear your mask, and be safe, all right? Creator continue to bless you. Live and let live. Have a blessed one, everyone.